Hi, I'm Garm1, and this is Midgardia's cool crowdfunding show. I'm here today with Duck and Ewan. How's it going?
Good.
Hey, pretty good.
And for those of you watching, Ewan is just here by voice, not camera, so there's not just a mysterious, feed that's not showing.
Dear in spirit.
Yeah. So you're here to tell us about Two Change, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so if we're gonna let people know that we recorded this a while ago and then a lot happened with the project and now we're re-recording it for the second time. We didn't just lose the material. uh so Two Change is a very rules light TTRPG focused around tarot mechanics using the major arcana, and it's also very focused on transformation and themes of body horror, but also self-empowerment and physical and mental changes.
Right on. So, who is Two Change targeted towards?
We really want to target it towards people who enjoy indie TTRPGs, but want a system that can be used for these specific sort of adventures or scenarios where multiple people or one person are undergoing some uh, sort of full bodied change, physically or mentally, and how that can be played into a system. And so that's what we're trying to explore. I think people we're trying to hit is we want to invest in the queer LGBTQ community. We have a majority trans writing team, other than myself,
Hi.
and we really want to spotlight. Yeah, sorry.
Go on.
We really want to spotlight trans writing voices and trans artists as well with this project, because they're the 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 pillars of any sort of discussion on transformation has to center trans people, but also people who are interested in werewolves, vampires, um, any other sort of uh, furries, perhaps too. Uh, I think there's a lot of people who can find enjoyment in this game, as well as regular fans who just like interesting TTRPG mechanics.
Right on. So is this like a book of scenarios? Is that kind of correct?
Do you want to take this one?
Well, I mean, we're going to have a book of scenarios. I mean, but we've got, it's a system that can be used to make your own scenarios if you want to. It's uh,
Yeah, we have 6 scenarios right now, or it'll be a total of 8 when everything's complete, and hopefully more if crowdfunding goes well. So yeah, it'll be a very focused system that will include lots of tables for people to make their own, as well as at least 8 sort of modules that people can run off of and get started right away. Character creation is really easy, so you can jump in GM or GMless and immediately start playing a session with multiple people.
yeah, that's very straightforward.
Yeah.
Right on. So, how did the tarot motif come about?
I really wanted to do a game that used card draw mechanics over dice, and I got to thinking of just like if the deck was only the 22 major arcana, how um, how you could do a system revolved around that of drawing just from that deck for success and failure, and things kind of just spun out from there, and it was a good launching off point. We combined that with the theme pretty well. Tarot itself is all about transformation, more in like personal growth aspects, but then mixing that with other aspects of transformation makes for some really interesting dynamics, especially with what we decided to do with some of the card design.
Right on, right on. So, Ewan, how did you get involved with this project?
Well, Doc and I met through a book I was working on. By now, it's a series of books. I'm working on the second one. Uh, it and it was we just got to talking, and we got to thinking it would be fun to do some kind of like writing collaboration, and this was a project we both thought the idea for sounded pretty interesting, and so we decided to do a collab, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I loved Ewan's novel, and it was an excellent book. And so, since we sort of had the same idea about using something with transformation and exploring a bunch of different themes at once, with a sort of open system that could focus on a lot of really simple adventures, and it came together very nicely. We brought a bunch of other people onto the team now too, so it's been very fun.
Right on, right on. So, the the viewers don't know this, but this is actually the second time that we've recorded this interview. The other one ended up not getting published for reasons.
Lost to
Do you want to talk
history.
about? Yeah, lost to history forever.
Yeah,
You'll find an
so
article on the Lost Media wiki for it someday.
no. I mean, nothing has changed in the game itself, other than that we've advanced a lot in our development, and in the art that we have now and the scenarios, how far we've come with that and playtesting. So that's all very good. But yes, we were about to launch on Kickstarter. I believe it was one day before we were planning to go live. Kickstarter announced that they were doing a very light pivot to blockchain technology, investing with this kind of sketchy cryptocurrency company. No matter what your feelings are on that subject, I don't think blockchain is anything good with Kickstarter, even if you completely cut out the cryptocurrency aspect. Kickstarter, benefits from the centralization, and decentralizing it was baffling to me. But no matter my feelings, I have to respect my team's feelings, and everyone on the team said we don't want to be associated with Kickstarter if this is the direction they're going. So we pulled the plug on the last day, and we were waiting for a while, waiting for GameFound, and finally I was sending emails back and forth with GameFound, and they just opened publicly. We had our project ready to go about a few weeks before they opened publicly, and now it's on GameFound, which is very awesome.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about GameFound?
Sure. Sorry, I don't want to talk too much over Ewan, but I guess I was mostly working on the setting everything up there.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Uh, yeah, so setting up with GameSound has been very nice. One thing I appreciate is that they're way more communicative than Kickstarter. Kickstarter, you're just getting like someone from the business email, but GameSound, I'm actually talking to, the US representative there. And so we have a much more fluid back and forth, which means there's more communication. Sometimes that can be more complicated, but it's also nicer. And I really feel like they're checking the projects more than Kickstarter, just like, okay, rubber stamp on everything that comes through. Bam, bam, bam. So I definitely enjoy that aspect of GameFound. It has a lot more customization and ways to display your project, which I really appreciate. Like right now, the pre-launch page is a full page. It's not just the little, the one paragraph blurb you get. We can pretty much show everything we have at this point, which is significant. That's really nice. There's a lot of other mini benefits. I did a whole Twitter thread about my experiences, which have been, largely very positive. I think the only thing I can say that was kind of a problem was that setting up like business account and banking system was a bit more convoluted, but that's probably something that should be more complex. I'm glad that they have a bit more scrutiny there than Kickstarter. So even though that took us an extra week or so to get everything verified through their system, that's nice to know that they're really checking to make sure people have everything down pat.
Right on, right on. So, Ewan, what's your favorite part of Two Change?
Hmm.
I know, hard questions.
Yeah. Well, um, I do really like that the project, um, like the selection of the team and everything, is going out of its way to um, uplift like trans voices and stuff. I think that's really cool. The other thing I suppose is it's just really interesting to work with a system that just sort of um, is very specialized towards you know, the theme of transformation and uh, you know, having a dedicated rule set for it and having that be the main focus in a way that, you know, it's not necessarily with other systems. And I think that's interesting. And, you know, it's a theme I like to play around with in my writing, so it appeals there.
Right on, right on. And you mentioned your writing earlier as well. Can you tell us a little bit about your novel projects?
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a um book, well, a book and a half net, well, a book and a third, let's be honest, on Archive of Our Own. The first one is called I'm Not an Evil Sorceress, and the uh, right now I'm working on a spin-off. There will be a proper sequel once I'm done with that. Spin-off is called I Want to Be an Evil Sorceress.
A lot of character development between those two.
The I guess broadly speaking, I would describe the premise is it's a comedic transformation themed romance series about gay princesses and the witches who enchant them.
Right on, right on. And there will be a link to that in the description as well. Is there anything else either you would like to bring up while we're here?
Yeah, right now I've been having a lot of fun doing this little I guess sort of a side project, but for people who are early on following on GamesFound, you can offer little like I guess what do they call it? Like the pre-launch little gifts. And so right now we're just doing a small booklet of me and Ewan doing little mini essays about our thoughts on the design of the major arcana for the game and the different transformations we decided to focus on there. And doing those little essays with Ewan has been really fun. And Mel, who's the artist for the lead artist, is going to also do commentary on their sketches, and we can show all the in progress sketches and how we developed each of the designs. And most of it is just us, exposing. I think at one point, what do you say? You just have like one line where you're like, "Vampires hot, yes."
That was
But no, you had more to say on vampires. It was bear people.
yeah.
Yeah.
This has been this sketch booklet thing has been like a ton of fun to make.
That's been really fun. Yeah.
Kind of like
I'm looking forward to seeing what Mel has to say.
almost like a developer's commentary track.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get that if you follow early in the project. We'll probably put it out later sometime eventually, but it'll be a special thing for a while.
Right on. Do you have any plans for a physical edition or?
Yeah. So through GameFound, we should also be funding a physical softcover edition, and then also you can get the Major Arcana deck that Mel is designing. That'll be in full art inside the book, and then you can also get them as cards, physical little card deck. Yeah, we don't really have any other physical plans planned. Maybe hardcover eventually if things go really really well, but that's a ways off. I like to stick to softcover stuff. Is nice.
Yeah, and especially with the current state of shipping and paper
Yeah,
shortage and all
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I definitely had to think back on some of my decisions for my previous game, Cuticorium. Making it very small was a lot of fun, but then now I'm realizing, when you print on non-standard paper dimensions, that's actually way more costly. So like, wow, this is a lot cheaper to print on like standard A6 dimensions. I forget if that's exactly what it is, but it'll be more like a normal book instead of this very very tiny miniature bug-sized book. But that was a fun thing to do.
Right on. Well, for those of you listening, click the link below, go to GameFound, follow the project if it's not up yet, back it if it is, and get you some sweet, tarot themed transformation stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
And
Thanks for having us too.
oh, I'm always glad to have the both of you. Have a good night, everybody.